Get on your grind. Quit messing around, guys. Quit bullshitting yourselves. Stop the video games, man. Start hustling every day. Working. Now, I know that seems kind of ironic. I haven't uploaded a video here in a couple weeks. But trust me when I say that I have not been spending that time just bullshitting around, being lazy, not doing anything. I've been, there's been a lot of stuff, like business stuff that I've been doing, just in general. Yeah, I mean, it's been really busy with the businesses especially. I'm going to say that I didn't have the time to make the videos. That was one thing I was slacking on, but that's why today's video is about getting on your grind. So this is kind of my way of repentance, I guess. Because I'm getting back on the grind, everything, There's a lot of projects, but that's no excuse. So, I mean, I typed this up like a week ago. So, before I was, I had a life's goal. So, this video is all about having a life's goal, It's all about having, like, a lot of, people talk about, these self-improvement YouTubers and stuff. These guys talk about having a purpose. That stuff is true. You gotta have some sort of purpose in life. You need to it's self-explanatory. You gotta be busy. You gotta stay busy. You can't just be sitting around directionless, So I'm gonna give you some really interesting stories about my life before I found my purpose. So, I have a business. Personally, yeah, I have a business now, but before that I was drifting, and that was really terrible. So, I tried several routes before I got to this point. I tried the military, that didn't work out. I actually, joined the military after high school. I got kicked out because I had an alcohol problem. That's part of the reason why I'm, against alcohol, this whole sober journey. Yeah, alcohol kind of fucked up my military career. I actually tried going to college. That didn't work out either. So, right after getting kicked out of the military, I came back home, and I tried my hand at going to school, going to college. I flunked out really bad. My first semester, I failed I remember I literally I think I may have done too many classes at once. Honestly, if I had the pure determination I have now, I probably could have done it. But my compass was way off at the time. I was just doing it to do it rather than I didn't really have a passion for it. So obviously it didn't work out. I didn't have the passion to stay persistent, stay consistent with it. So I started failing all my classes. I started skipping classes. I started making excuses. I just stopped showing up. I gave it a shot. I remember I failed my math class halfway through the semester. My grade was terrible. It was my main math class. And I was really jaded about college because I'm just going to be real, I hate math. I hate doing math. I was never good at it. And I just never really liked it. And for me to do what I wanted to do, I had to take all these preliminary classes like English, math, this philosophy bullshit class, And I was really angry about it because I was like, why do I have to take all this extra shit, So my head really wasn't in the game, just even to start. I already didn't like it, the first day, It wasn't really what I expected. But yeah, I flunked out of college. After that, I entered into a period of my life where I was just straight drifting. I remember talking to my mom, and I was like, I felt really depressed. I was like drinking a lot. I was like smoking a lot of weed. I was like really addicted to nicotine. Um, yeah, it was really bad. It was a dark time. Um, and this lasted for a while, and I ended up working like some shit jobs, during that time, like working at restaurants and shit. And it was just like, I was like, dude, what happened to me? Like, I went from like being up here to like falling, and then like I like caught myself at like college, and I was like, and I just like fell out of that too. I was just like falling, like I just didn't know what to do. I just felt like completely lost, off course. And that was like one of the worst feelings ever. I never want to feel like that again. Um, so, yeah. A ship without a destination is sailing into waters with no plan, and you'll become lost in an endless sea, slowly moving off course. So yeah, a ship without a destination. I was a ship without a destination. I got blown off course, and I was just drifting through the ocean. I had no plan, no nothing, no like nothing to look forward to. I was sleeping till like 3 o'clock p.m. a day, like literally just sleeping all fucking day, because there was nothing to look forward to. There was no hustle, no grind. Um, so that was a really dark period. Those few years, the military, then the college experience, then drifting for a while was like, and then it like transitioned into COVID, and like that was like spent like basically doing nothing. Like it was, yeah, that was definitely like one of the like lowest points of my life for sure. An adult with no direction. Yep, out of school. I hit a brick wall, man. Like I remember like I was in school. I was like, I remember being in school and like feeling alive and enjoying life. And I remember when I was in school, I had a direction, I had a purpose, and I wasn't so consumed by darkness. I remember like my last few years of school was like the high point of my life. It was like it didn't get any better than that. That was like the most excitement. That was the most, I felt alive. I felt like I was living like through a real like story. Like there was a real story unfolding, and life was just getting better and better and better, and it was going up and up and up, and there was like more experiences, more craziness, more like the layers started peeling back completely, and life was getting like richer and like just more in depth and amazing, and I was having like all these relationships with like these girls. I was having fun with my friends. I was really, and then it was like after that, it was like I got like crushed by reality. Like I like left school. I spent like a year like kind of like chilling, or like half a year to a year kind of chilling, like waiting to join the military. Looking forward to that. Just kind of working, saving money. That was really fun. It was like, oh, I'm out of school. I don't have to go to school now. I can do whatever I want. And then like, yeah, like the whole military, and like followed by like the college thing, like those few years. It was like I just hit reality, just crushed me. Like I was like, dude, I thought my life was going to be this exciting, amazing. Like I thought it was just going to keep going like farther. Like the trajectory was like, it was never going to stop, And eventually I just hit the ceiling, and I would just like came like crashing down, like I saw myself like, this sounds fucked up, but I literally saw myself like falling. Like this is some crazy shit. Like I saw my whole life just completely like slowly shattering and being destroyed and like getting worse and worse. And I was like, dude, what? Like, this is not what I expected. You know, like, this is rough. You know, like, I'm a nobody. I'm a has-been. You know, like, what do I do? You know? So, yeah, so once you have a destination in mind, it gives you structure and a plan and something to move towards. This is why setting a goal is so important. I set a goal this year to get a six-pack. Now I know where that comes time to make a choice. I can either take the choice that leads me towards a six-pack or take the choice that leads me away from it. So yeah, without having that goal, without having that destination in mind, I was just making like bad decision after bad decision, you know, because I really just had nothing like, I had no like final plan. You know, there was no strategy in mind. There was nothing. There was no plan A. There was no plan B. You know, and I was broke. I had like no money. Like most of this time I was just like dead fucking broke, no money. You know, like I couldn't travel, I couldn't enjoy anything. The only thing I really enjoyed was like hanging out, drinking, partying, you know, going to bars. That kind of stuff was like my only escape, you know. Was just being like an idiot, playing video games. Like that was like my dark gamer period. I remember that was like, yeah, my escape was like bad habits, fucking playing games all fucking day, all night till like 3 or 4 a.m. Like I just mentioned that I was like sleeping until 3 p.m. It's because I was staying up all fucking night. It's because I was just not on a proper sleep schedule, you know? So, when I basically, that was like the worst rut ever. When I got out of that rut, I remember I like set an intention in my mind. I started like listening to like positive like stuff on YouTube, like audiobooks about like improving yourself. Like first I started like trying to gain more knowledge. I was like learning more things. I started learning about like people that do great things, you know, like about different generals and armies and you know people like Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, you know, all these amazing generals that have conquered nations and done all this stuff. And you know what they had? That's when I like came to the conclusion, you know, it all started coming together. I was like they had a goal that they set their sight on and they started working no matter what to get to that goal, you know? So like I started making goals. I made the goal, my goal was to have a successful business. I wanted to start a successful business. And which I actually did. I'm at that point now, and that was like a few years ago. And it's crazy because I remember reading about manifestation, and that's what you have to do. You literally have to see it in your mind, like, I'm going to be there, I'm going to learn this thing, you know, I'm going to start this business, or like I wanted like a girlfriend or whatever. You want a girlfriend, you got to like imagine it, bro. You want to become like a better fighter, you got to imagine yourself like training, getting to that point. I really wanted to learn Spanish. A couple years ago, I was like, dude, I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never had like the drive to do it. But I started writing things down, like learn Spanish, you know. And I started practicing every day, and now I can speak Spanish. Now I'm learning another language, Portuguese. You know, every day I'm thinking about my goals. I'm thinking about the next thing that I have to do. You know, this YouTube channel, that's one of my goals. Like, I want to start a successful YouTube channel. And, you know, yeah, sometimes, you know, slack a little bit and you kind of like regress. That's what happened like the past couple weeks. You know, I was like, dude, I got to make a video. I got to make a fucking video. So that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, back to the whole business thing. That whole business thing set my life straight. because it gave me the structure. Because I was like, I want to start a business. I want to start a business. I started listening to things about like things that entrepreneurs do, things that successful people do. Oh, quitting alcohol, quitting drugs, doing this, quitting junk food, all that stuff. You know, all these different techniques to make yourself a more successful person was from originally saying to myself, no, I'm not fucking settling for less. I want to be something. I want to be someone. I want to be a fucking entrepreneur, you know? I always wanted to be an entrepreneur in the bottom of my heart. I wanted to like trade stocks in the future. I wanted to like own companies and stuff. I didn't know how to do it, but I knew I wanted it. And now I'm like kind of getting to that point where I'm becoming better and better at I'm getting a grasp of like how to run things, how to manage things, just from doing it, And don't be discouraged. I mean, you're gonna like in the beginning, like you're not gonna know shit, But once you get like to a certain point, it's like cascading returns. Like it gets easier and easier and easier, You just gotta trust the process, You always gotta go through like the bullshit beginner stage with anything that I've found, where like you're not getting any return. That was like with Spanish, there was like months where like you could spend months and still not be able to have a conversation when you try to learn a new language. And you have to just put up and say fuck it and put up with those months until finally things start clicking in your brain. That's the same thing with business. It could be years before your business is successful. You could fail. You could go fucking bankrupt. You could lose it all. But you have to, they say get back up, pick yourself back up. My first attempt at starting a business failed completely. It failed. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have like the correct mindset. I didn't have like, but you know what I learned? I was like, I still failed and I fucking didn't give up. I had to get like a shitty restaurant job for a little bit, for like a year. Probably like less than a year. But that whole time when I was working at that restaurant job, I was just saving money and I was thinking about like how I was going to start the business back up and how I was going to get basically out of the trenches, And it worked. I kept trying, I kept going, I kept pushing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Like, I'm not satisfied, obviously, with where I'm at. I'm not going to say that I'm, like, I still have so much learning to do. I would say I'm just still a novice in most aspects. But I know that I'm going to get there. And I'm going to keep pushing every day. Trying, working, studying, And that's one thing is, like, people stop doing is, like, they get out of school and they stop studying and they stop learning, they stop reading books, they stop like trying to better themselves. They just think it's, like I said, during that drifting phase, I mean, yeah, I tried to go to college and stuff, but my head wasn't in the game. It wasn't something I was interested in learning. That was the problem for me, personally. But like, I still continue to study. I started studying like history and like business and stuff. That was stuff that I actually enjoyed learning, and that's all I've been doing. Like languages, history, business, like working on stuff like mechanical stuff. I've got like a bunch of hobbies, and that's what keeps me like sane. Like studying, doing all those hobbies has given me so much knowledge. And now, like, this YouTube thing, I'm getting... These are just, like, videos where, like, I'm... In my business, I do, like, video editing and stuff and, like, all this other crazy stuff, like marketing and shit, like advertisements. But, like, I've always been into, like, making videos and shit. And, that, that's kind of, like, the reason why I want the YouTube channel. Is because, like, I always like to make videos. Even when I was a kid, I made videos, even though they were shitty videos, I still tried. And here we go again. We're back making more videos. This time I'm serious about it, of course. I have the knowledge. I know to make a successful YouTube channel, I have to be consistent. I have to pump out content. But yeah, guys, some more talking points. That's pretty much everything. I would like to speak about this more often and tell more stories, but really, you gotta be consistent. And I don't mean to yes, I know I haven't been uploading a video every day or whatever, but I'm gonna be uploading more. But yeah, I got a lot of projects that I'm working on. I got a lot of fucking, what do they call it? Swords in the fire. I don't know how to explain it. I got a lot of balls up in the air. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe, please comment, like the video, share it. We are ascending, not descending. Alright, peace.